Welcome to the Trust and Believe NOMADCAST, a podcast that talks about mental health, life lessons, unbridled motivation, and unique storytelling. Here is your host, retired Army Master Sergeant, Mr. Anderson.
Greetings, everyone. You are tuned into episode 72 of the Trust and Believe NOMADCAST. Like Mrs. Anderson said it in the intro, I'm your host, Mr. Anderson. Thank you for tuning in today on the 15th of February, 2022, the day after Thanksgiving, the day after Valentine's Day. Hope everyone had a great and wonderful Valentine's Day, spending that time with your significant other, your wife, your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever it is, making a commitment not only to yourself, but to your significant other as well. Also, individually and collectively, I hope you guys had a great day. All right, so today, before we get started with anything, let's go ahead and take care of some housekeeping notes. The tnbnomadcast.buzzsprout.com is your one-stop shop for all your NOMADcast needs, right, as it relates to audio and social media. Speaking of audio, I'm on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, to name a few. You can also listen to the NOMADcast conveniently embedded on the website. Now, social media, I'm on LinkedIn. Go ahead and connect with me. I'm on Instagram. Go ahead and like and follow. I am on TikTok. Go ahead and like and follow. And also, I am on YouTube. Almighty YouTube. YouTube. The tube is you. If you like what you hear, like what you see, go ahead and click that bell icon button now. Click that subscribe button now. See, I did it in reverse order. Kind of change up the thinking, right? Go ahead and do all that. Now, once you click that bell icon, now you'll be notified of the latest and greatest as it relates to the NOMADcast. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. Housekeeping notes are complete. Now, as we move into Tuesdays, we know we talk about Tuesdays. Tuesdays is a day of fun, a day of kind of just searching the nerd out sessions in the world, history, whatever it is, right? But today I want to take a different approach as it relates to talking on the Tuesday. And this is almost like an extension of Monday Mental Combat. But, yeah, we're going to go ahead and change it up just for today. Next week, I'll probably dive into something that's fun. But this is something that was in my spirit last night and in this morning. We all move at a certain pace in life. We want to be fast. We want to be slow. We don't know where we are. How do we get there? What am I doing? Am I wrong? Am I right? So I kind of want to talk about something on Talking on the Tuesday. And the title of today, which is the Talking on the Tuesday segment, is Embrace Your Own Speed. How to embrace your own pace, how to embrace your own speed. And I broke them down into 4 life-changing, critical, pivotal categories, if you will. Critical steps, critical ways, critical ideas, so on and so forth, right? So let's get started. We talking about how to embrace your own pace. And a lot of us, including myself, so all of us will be looped in that. A lot of times we don't know when it's time to strike. Or you hear the old saying, strike when the iron is hot. Sometimes the iron ain't even involved or ain't even around. You can't even find the iron. So many times in my career and through life, I've challenged myself. You know, I'm a stickler with time, and I think timing is everything. Timing is critical. Location is critical. People that's around you are critical. But a lot of times you don't know if you missed out on something because you wasn't there. You don't know if you gained something when you shouldn't have been there. So life is like a mystery. We're all trying to fit on this chess piece. We're all trying to move around. You know, and a lot of times we just have no clue what we're doing. So I broke this down into 4 categories, right? 4 steps. And the very first one is embrace who you are. Again, we'd have to take an honest approach. And I've probably said this before. We have to really know who we are. What our constraints are. What our limitations are. What our capabilities are. What are we doing to try to attain the ultimate goal? Whether it's wealth, finance, family, house, car, career, job, relationship, whatever it is. We have to understand where we are at the moment. What are we doing in the moment? How can I get great while I'm being good in the moment? And I think a lot of times we fall short. I don't try to make this is all about you. This is a we session. And it's a lot of times growing up and even in my career in the Army and the Marine Corps, I didn't understand where I was at, right? I would be at certain duty stations and I'm struggling, trying to make the rank of sergeant, struggling, trying to make the rank of staff sergeant. And I didn't understand, or I had no clue where I was at mentally. Trying to know, where should I shift my focus? What should I do to ensure I'm maximizing my true potential? Then you got to ask yourself the question, what is my true potential? Who am I surrounding myself with? Who are those trusted confidants? Who am I listening to? And I think a lot of times we get confused in that. I know I did. Again, I'm telling you a lot of this from personal experience. And when you embrace who you are, you have to be comfortable knowing what you don't know. What am I strong at? What am I weak at? I talked about the limitations and constraints. We talk about constraints and limitations. There's about a constraint and limitations. Remember, a constraint is something outside of your own control, an outside source you can't control. A limitation is something that you can control. Just think about it. Constraint is external. Limitation is internal. So we have to ask ourselves, we're talking about embracing who you are. Once you embrace who you are, you've already figured out one key component to that. The rest of the components are not comparing yourself to other people, because it's easier to say, well, I should have $1 million because such and such has $1 million, and I feel like I'm falling short of the glory. No, it's all about time, and we'll get into that. It's all about time and what type of work have you put in? Who are you surrounding yourself with? And that's the biggest thing. We talked about it. So the biggest thing is embracing your own self, embracing who you are. What do you have to bring to the table? Are you surrounding yourself with confident people, trusted confidants, people that's making you stronger physically, mentally, financially, whatever it is? Putting yourself around successful people, putting yourself around successful situations. I think the key thing is putting yourself around situations that's going to challenge you. We've all done it. Anybody that's been successful in life, who has attained a certain status, if you will, a lot of them they put themselves around successful people. How do they make it work? If you want to be, a construction engineer, you don't hang around a guy that work at the pool hall. You know what I mean? So embrace what you know, embrace who you are, and you control everything. Remember, don't let the external forces control you. That's a constraint. The limitation is what you can control. What are you bringing to the party? What are you bringing to the table? Embrace who you are. Embrace who you are. Number 2, stop letting social media distract you. That is the biggest thing. And I tell you, I'm one of those. I'm a victim of that as well. When I started this NOMADCAST podcast in September of last year, 2021, I automatically thought, well, I served all these years in the Marine Corps, served all these years in the Army, all my friends on social media, family members on social media. This is a win. I'll get 1,000 subscribers. I get 1 million likes. I get 1 million of this. I get 1 billion of this. And come to find out, since I've been retired, none of that is true, right? None of it's true. And I still have friends, talk to this and that and the third. But the thing is, I let social media distract me. The advancements of social media. Well, he started his show. How come he get this? Well, she started her show. How come she get that? How come all these guys are rich? How come all these guys are driving Lamborghinis? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? Even with people that we don't even know, the Jay-Z's, the Beyoncé's, and we're magnetized by their success. We're magnetized by the way they earn their income, their lifestyle, everything about them. Oh, we want to go on vacation because Beyonce went to Greece. Look, man, worry about what you're doing in hometown USA or wherever you live at. We cannot let social media continue to distract us. Social media wants us to go at a speed unknown to mankind. A lot of times we can't go. We don't have we're not strong enough to go at the speed of mankind is in terms of A-list stars and celebrities and athletes and all that, because they're in a whole nother bracket. I ain't even talking about tax bracket. They're in a whole nother bracket. So we can't continue to let social media distract who we are. We can't let social media distract us. Probably the biggest thing that we need to do is sometimes we need to just log off of social media. I have to do it myself. I like TikTok. I like Instagram. Those are the two biggest ones I'm on. Even YouTube. Sometimes I have to kind of get away from it, because I look at all these folks that started all these podcasts and they got 400,000 subscribers. And I'm looking at some of the material and not judging, but I'm like, how did they get freaking 400,000 views? They don't even care about the material. The quality of the material is not, I don't like it. The content of their material, I definitely don't like it. They're cursing, they're smoking weed, they're doing all these things. And at the end of the day, you do what you do. But, when you're trying to create something that's wholesome, that's clean, you're trying to, improve not only yourself, but, help the advancement of others. And just, I've been mentored by the best. I've menteed the best. And you try to display some of that, and you see that you're lacking in terms of subscriptions. You're lacking in terms of likes and all these things. Social media, I'm telling you, you can kind of, it'll put you in a chokehold, and then you start questioning your ability. Am I doing the right thing? Why is not my content not driving the numbers the way it should be? But then you have to realize you're late in the fight. I'm just using my own personal experience. I am very late in the fight as it relates to podcasting, because a lot of these people that I follow, a lot of these people I've subscribed to, they've been doing this 5-10 years. These folks on TikTok been doing it 3 years since the inception of TikTok. These folks that's on Instagram, they've been on Instagram since the inception of Instagram. So there's no way I can just jump in this train that's been going on. At some point, you have to start at the caboose and work your way through the rest of the cars, and then you'll get to the engine. But I'm very comfortable. I am embracing who I am right now. I understand in this train, we're talking about this podcast, and it flows with the social media distractions. I understand. Damon Anderson understands at this point. I've done well in the Army, made it to Master Sergeant, Marine. None of that matters, right? The point is the now. I understand I am at the caboose as it relates to the social media, the YouTube, the Instagram, the TikToks. It's going to take a while, but it's going to be hard work, perseverance, sacrifice. It's going to take a while to get from this caboose all the way to the engine. The engine is the top. The engine is the 100,000+ subscribers. The engine is the creme de la creme of podcasting. I have a long way to go, but I understand I am at the caboose. Eventually, I will work my way from the caboose through the rest of the train cars and keep going. And this train is long, ladies and gentlemen. It's about life. Life is long. Don't let anyone tell you life is short. Yeah, I said it before that we only get one lap around this thing, but life is short, right? I'm at the caboose. Success is at the engine. I got a long way to go. So I want to use that as well, talking about stop letting social media distract us, because I've been a victim of it. I continue to be a victim of it. Sometimes you feel you fall short of the glory. Well, I was great in the Army. I made it to this rank, got the degrees, got the family, got everything. How come this is not working? I'm telling you, it's going to work in your life. Whatever you're doing, you're trying to be a lawyer, trying to be a doctor, trying to be a teacher, trying to be the best parent, trying to get your finances, trying to do everything in your life. Don't let social media tell you how you should live. Don't let social media tell you that by the age of 12, you should already have 600 trillion, gazillion, bazillion dollars. Do not let social media do that to you, because a lot of people are committing suicide because of social media. A lot of people are killing people because of social media. A lot of people feel victim. They feel a victim because they haven't attained a certain status of social media. Embrace yourself. Be comfortable who you are. Stop letting social media distract you. If you have to do anything, the best thing about social media, you can turn it off. You're on the iPhone. You're on your Android. Turn it off. You're on the computer. You can turn it off. You have a control, right? Social media has control, but you have control over what you're hearing. You have control on what you're seeing, listening, and visualizing. And once you start putting that inside the brain, man. So if you feel you're at a point where you feel defeated by social media because of the things that you see, the stories that you read, the pictures that you see, the videos that you see, it may be time to kind of detach from social media. We all have done it. We've all, I'm not even on Facebook anymore. I've detached from Facebook. You have times where you detach from TikTok and Instagram and all these social media sites. That may be the best thing to do. And then you come back, you re-engage, you feel invigorated, you feel, okay, I'm ready to make a splash now. Stop letting social media distract you. Number 3, trust divine timing. There is a time for everything. There is a time for everything. Again, I want to use my personal experience. When I made the rank of sergeant, from sergeant all the way to staff sergeant, took 6 years. Now, you look in the Army now, some people are getting promoted from private all the way to staff sergeant in 6 years. It took me 6 years from the rank of sergeant to the rank of staff sergeant, right? 6 years. Due to my MOS, large amount of people, so on and so forth. And I remember when I made the rank of staff sergeant, I know, and I said this at my promotion ceremony, if I would have been promoted a year prior, 2 years prior to making staff sergeant, I would have not been ready. Divine timing. It's my time. The rank of master sergeant. Once I made master sergeant, chomping at the bit. But I knew if I had made master sergeant 2 years prior to that, a year prior to that, I wouldn't have been ready. So it's all about the sacrifice, the commitment. What are you willing to do to attain that success you want? It's all about timing. Put that blood, sweat, and tears in there, but it's still all about timing. Everything is timing. Everything is timing. When is the time to strike? Do I need to sit back and just wait and be patient? And they talk about patience as a virtue. It's very difficult to be patient, especially when you feel you've been putting in the work, you've been putting in the hours, you've been doing everything you need to do to be successful. Then all of a sudden, you get slapped in the face. Life slaps you in the face. Patience, divine timing. Stay committed. Stay committed to what you're trying to do. Stay committed on your craft. Stay committed on your passion. Stay committed because your time is coming. Your time is near. It may take a year. It may take 2 years. It may take 10 years. But if you believe in yourself, you believe what you're doing, you don't let social media distract you, you embrace who you are at your present stage in your life, and you will make it. But it's all about timing, divine timing. When is the time? You have to trust it. You have to embrace it and know what you're doing is not only for the greater good of you, it's the greater good of for your family, and it's the greater good for society. Because we all have a role to play in society. It can't just be wake up, chill all day, go to sleep. What type of contribution are you making to society? If you're working at the auto plant, you're making a contribution. You're building cars. You involved with safety. You involved with the construction of the vehicle. You involved with the maintenance of the vehicle. You involved with everything. You're contributing to society, right? So a person that's sitting around, they're not making a contribution, right? So where's the timing in that? If you work in the mail room, I'm going to drive the mail truck for 5 years. Then I'm going to be a postal. I don't know how the rank structure is in the post office. So anybody in the comments, you can correct me. You start off as the carrier. Then you start off at this stage. And it's just different levels and levels. Because if you think you're ready to get promoted and you haven't put in the work in, you haven't sacrificed, you haven't made the commitment, you're lacking, laziness, all these things, you're coming in late for work and all these things, your timing is going to be even longer. We know when it's time, when you get that promotion, when you get that financial reward, everything is based on timing. Now, who controls the timing is what you believe in, right? But everything is all about timing. You just got to stay in there. You got to put your shoulder against that boulder, and you got to keep pushing. Now, sometimes when you put that shoulder against that boulder, Someone seems like they're on the other side, putting their shoulder against the boulder. And it could be 5 shoulders against 4 boulders stacked up. But you know what? You continue to push. We continue to be great. We continue to be successful. We continue to do these things we need to do to reach our goal. What is the end state? Family, financial, career, job, travel, health, whatever it is, right? Timing. Last one, y'all. You have to know when to press, pause, and pivot. If you get to the point where you continue to move that you got your shoulder against that boulder and you feel I've been doing this for 5, 6, 7 years, there's nothing wrong with taking a knee, resetting yourself, doing something else for a year or two, and then come back to it. You see these commercials all the time. I forgot the name of the alcohol brand. They talked about this lady. She was a detective in Florida, I think, right? And, you know, if you're a detective, first you got to start off as the cop, and you got to do all this. You got to go to the academy and do all these things. So if you've already committed yourself to schooling, advanced schooling, whatever the craft is. But just say for this example, I saw in the commercial. So this lady, she was a detective in Florida, going through the cop world, being the cop, traffic cop, desk sergeant, all this. She became a detective. And she was getting ready to go on her case, which she didn't even know at the time, probably the night prior, didn't even know that's going to be her last case that she will work on. She said when she got to the police station that morning and she got out the car, she walked inside the police station, she realized, I don't want to do this no more. She made a pivot. She pressed pause. All she wanted to do was be a DJ. She was a DJ for so many years, but she wasn't making money off being a DJ. Because, you know, if you're not one of them big shot DJs, yeah, you'll spend at a $40 party. You may spend at a $100 party, but it's not the finances, whatever you receive is not enough to sustain you long term. So that's why she became a cop and ultimately became a detective to finance her life while she pursued her goal. She pressed pause on being a detective and left, right? And didn't even look back. Now she's like one of the most popular. I can't remember her name, but it's in the commercial. One of the most popular DJs. And that's what she did. She pressed pause and she pivoted to something else. Now, she may not pivot and go back to the detective world, but she realized, what is my true passion? What am I really trying to do? What do I want in life? And that's what the whole thing is about. How to embrace your own pace, moving at your own speed. Because I can't move at Johnny's speed. You can't move at Erica's speed. We can't do that. We got to stop placing ourselves and position ourselves with other people. We talked about the social media. It's things I deal with daily when I look at other podcast numbers, ads, and I look at the likes, and I look at the views, and I look at all this. And it's easy to just say, bump it. I spent money on these microphones and these lights and these cameras and studio and all these different things. But then at the end of the day, personally, I know I want to be one of the best podcasters there is. I'm not saying I'm trying to be the best. I'm not trying to get to, elite level. I just want to be the best at what I'm doing. I did my best trying to, being a master sergeant. That life is over. And now this is my second stint in life. I always tell my wife, the Lord gave me a second lease on life after I retired, because for the first few months after I retired, I ain't do jack. Play 2K, play Madden, play baseball, got my son ready for school and family ready for school and work and all that. And that was it. So September last year, I dedicated myself to podcasting. And you figure that was a few months ago, and I'm still learning. I'm still, getting comfortable doing edits and all these different things because I want to be one of the best. Now, will I ever get there? I have no clue. I don't have the idea. But I know every time I go to bed at night, I'm putting in the work, right? And it's going to be about timing. I can't let social media distract me. I have to embrace what I know. And if I have to press pause and pivot and move to something else, I'll do that. But this is my goal. This is my dream. This is what I want. And this is what I continue to do. And I charge everyone that's listening. I charge everyone that's watching to do the same in your life. whether it's dealing with your finances, whether it's dealing with your health, your family, your friends, your coworker, your job, your vehicles, anything that you're dealing with in life. 4 major takeaways from this. If you're dealing with anything in your life trying to pursue goals, first thing I want to tell you, embrace your own pace. Embrace your own pace, right? Stop letting social media distract you, okay? Trust your divine timing. Everything is about timing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still dealing with it. Everything is about timing. That time for promotion may not be today. It may not be tomorrow. But it's like on Friday when the father was like, you stay in and you fight. You got to keep fighting. Fight each and every day. Wake up with enthusiasm, unknown to mankind, and continue to fight. And that press, pause, and pivot. Sometimes you may have to step away, reset. It's not that you're tired. It's not that you're weak. It's like you want to move your resources and you want to do other things. And you'll come back to that if that's your goal. But you got to stand there. You got to fight. Stay and fight and live another day. You'll be proud of who you are. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in today on the Talking on the Tuesday here on the 15th of February, 2022. Remember, tomorrow there's no show on Wednesdays. Way Back Wednesdays has been discontinued again. So we're on Monday for Monday Mental Combat, Tuesdays for Talking on the Tuesday, Thursdays, Gym Shoe Stories on the Thursday, and Friday is finally Friday, right? So we'll be back Thursday. Stay tuned, stay locked. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, lending me your visuals, lending me your ears, and thank you for everything you're doing. Peace and love, y'all. Be safe, be sound. Let's say it all together. Trust and believe. All praises due. All the best.